Armchair Safari, the design show where we try to look at design and try to become better designers by breaking it down and figuring out what's good about this, what is bad about this, and does this work for the end user. And today we're looking at this cool solar charging app by Dima, apparently for heartbeat.ua. Dima has the best presentation I've seen in a long time. Co-founder and junior human at Heartbeat UA. Hell yeah, Dima. I am a junior human myself. Well done. All right, so if we're looking at this, let's just get a feel for it. Okay, cool. So what is good about this? Well, let's start out. First of all, it's very clear. So what we're looking at here is the current charge and the charge over time from solar, but I'm guessing it's solar panels, right? It's also very clear that we have two segments. One of them is the current charge and the other one is the historic charge. So there's no overlap in thinking about what could this be, what could that be. That's really good. And the visual hierarchy is somewhat clear, at least for the larger elements, which is excellent. There's also a really cool little effect here. For some reason, he chose to do like little bubbles or sparkles on the charging bar, which is a very strange thing, in my opinion, for solar energy to have little bubbles in it. But it does make it look a little magic. It does make it look a little cool, and the entire thing is also semi 3D. So this comes back to the trend that we've been observing now for a couple of months, where things are going slightly back towards skeuomorphic and having this 2.5D effect, where most things are flat, but you also have some aspects of 3D elements in them. That's the good part. So let's talk about the bad because there's some in here that isn't that great. So first off, if we just squint at a little bit, what could you see? So the reason you squint is to figure out what would this look like if it's in bad lighting? What would this look like on a bad screen? Or what would this look like if I like take off my glasses? What am I able to see? So it's a really good benchmark to see how good the contrasts are, how good this works for a variety of situations. It's not perfect in no means, but it does help you sort of get an indication of if the contrasts are big enough. And in this case, they really are not. So the only thing that you can see is basically the big charging time, these watt input and output things, and the bar itself. You can't really see much else. Like all of the details, all the labels, all of the frames, everything, even this charging icon and the background is so close to the green of the actual icon that it just becomes sort of a blur. So it's not great. The contrast is completely off, unfortunately. But that's what we're here for. Remember that to squint at your designs and figure out if the contrast is high enough or not. Second thing is we don't really know what this historical chart means. So this could be the percentage of charge the, I assume, battery has. It could also be the charging wattage over time. We don't really know, right? It just says like watt, 225 watt today. Okay, what do you mean? Watt is a measurement that does not work over time. If it's over time, it's watt hours. So this chart is unfortunately not clear enough. We don't really know what it means, which is a little frustrating. So yeah, that's not great. And what else? Yes. So in this design, Dima has chosen to add a couple of guiding lines, which are really cool, but they are a little bit strange. So the guiding lines are supposed to denominate where the label is. So 20% discharge limit means that 20% discharge limit is here on the chart, right? The problem is that the labels are equally distant from the actual bar as from the indicator. So it's actually really quite difficult to tell. Like you have to think about it a second and go like, oh, wait, oh, okay, yeah, the line is about this label. Okay, cool. It's not obvious enough. So this is called the laws of pregnance, I think. Yeah. Um, and they are a part of the Gestalt principles, which is a part of neuropsychology about how things are relate together based on human perception. And one of the most important ones is, for some reason I can't find it. Here we go. One of the most important ones is, oh, this is a Prezi. We can't probably open that. Is proximity. So things that are close together get grouped together in our psychology, in human psychology. Here we go. This one is really, really nice. So, proximity. Things that are very close get grouped together as if they belong together. And this is off here. So the distance between the guiding line and the object next to it is equally far away. So it looks like the label could relate to any one of them, which doesn't let your mind process this as a background process, but you actually have to think about it, which is sort of the entire point of information hierarchy to avoid. So in this case, we would need to squish these closer to the lines to make sure that it's very clear what these relate to. I mean, this is a nitpick, but that's why we're here, right? We're not criticizing this design. We're learning from it by figuring out what could be better. And I'm sure, like this one is posted quite a while ago, so I'm sure Dima, yeah, this was posted in October, so I'm sure Dima has already improved this. No shit on him. This is just a really good way for us to figure out what we could do better going forward in the future. All right, so that's the good and the bad. So does this work for the end user? Um, so this is not presented in its context, so we don't actually know what the user is using this for. So it's very hard to answer this question. But from how it's portrayed, I'm going to make the educated guess that this is supposed to be widgets on a mobile app. And for that case, no, this will not work. So the functions seem fine, but if you squint at a mobile app and can't really read the labels, it's simply not going to work because if it's mobile app, you're going to be using this out and about in very strange sort of strong sunlight, weird shades, like jumping in and out of the car where the light changes really rapidly. You need high contrast. So this will probably not work for that. So yeah, really, really interesting concept. Really love, like, I love how eco he made solar. It's just, it feels like I'm looking at like a young plant growing. So really cool stuff by Dima. Thank you so much for sharing this. Really cool stuff. And thank you from another junior human. And yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next one.